So I just say that and say, just to wrap that up, that what I have learned is that, and I'm excited about this new time that you guys have. The reality show people have changed the dynamic, but they've set a template that we all can take part in. You have your cell phone. You can create your own project, whatever that is, whatever business it is that you want to do, and to start building it and build your own free channel and start building your following, your audiences, so that there's people that specifically have their own audience that they market to, that they'll do crowdfunding for. The people that who I know that no longer audition, no longer do other things, they're like, I have my audience, and they pay for my next project because they dictate, or, they'll put in questions. So I'm thinking about putting this in, doing this story. Which one is your preference? And people are donating to that, and it's building that. And they're like, I don't have to worry about waiting for somebody to pick me. Can I get in? Can I get it? Because I built my own. And it's a completely different walk that you have, and you carry yourself differently when you know that you are writer, producer, entrepreneur, director, speaker, things like that. Rather than, I hope somebody picks it. This is just a wrong. I don't want to say wrong. It's not as effective, and it's not as empowering as what we have today. The cameras that you see around, what's in your phone, is an entire production studio.
Yes.
And you can get programs, and anything you don't know, you can tap on it and learn how to do it from the comfort of your own home, from wherever you are. And that's what's exciting, because it's become a wild, wild west because of that. There's so much content, but if you fine-tuning your skills and everything that you've been through, there's value in that. The peaks and the valleys, there's such value in that, and if we recognize that and to be able to shape that to speak to others, that is our anointing. Everything that we've been through and our passions are a part of our anointing, and it will come back to us in a myriad of ways, including financially, but also spiritually and things like that. And it leads us to different opportunities where people ask you to do this, people ask you to do that, and you are guided by those steps once you start moving forward in what you are supposed to do, and it will speak to you. So that's
Thank you so much. I appreciate that on so many levels. And when you mention creativity, everything you said, I feel like I got goosebumps. I'm like, you mentioned creativity, and that's really important, because we say, a lot of times I say, money is a byproduct of hard work, right? But it's actually a byproduct of creativity and hard work, because hard work can probably get you your 40 hours, right? Hard work. Or you can do your hard work, your 40 hours, and then come home and give to yourself as well. You can still have a regular job, and you can still create something for yourself. So yeah, you have your 40 hours, you get your money for your 40 hours, but then you can be creative, and you don't have to wait for anyone. I didn't wait for anyone to set this up for me. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't wait. I mean, I may have gotten in my way and didn't do it when I was going to originally do it, but eventually I said, you know what, let me do it, and I don't need permission to be great. All right, so before we get to Stacy, we're going to move over to Miss Akiana, right? Akiana, talk to us a little bit about why you do what you do.
Why I do what I do. This whole natural hair thing, I was like, oh, I'm going to do it. I want to be a natural, but I don't know how to be a natural. So wearing weaves for years, I took my hair out, and my hairdresser was like, we have a problem here. You're going to have to go through this journey, you know what I mean? It's something called the big chop, where you cut all your hair off. And I was like, well, I can't be bald, so what's option number 2? And she was like, well, you have to, trim your hair off, and you have to start over. And I was like, let me think about this. So I thought about it, and I said, okay, well, I'll do this, but I have long hair naturally. I'm just going to grow my hair. So in that, I started doing a lot of research, and came up with a few products, and I started putting it on my hair. Went ahead, got 5 inches cut off my hair, which is a big deal for me. And I started using this oil in my hair, and I was getting my hair braided all the time, and my hairdresser was like, what are you using on your hair? Why, your hair is really conditioned. Like, what are you using? And I was like, oh, it's this formula I put together. And she said, bring me some. And I said, oh, okay. So I went home and I made it for her, and I took it to her, and then the next month she said, hey, I'm out of oil. I said, oh, then you're calling me because what do you want? She's like, well, I need some more. And I said, well, girl, it wasn't free. It costs money. And she said, well, can you bring me a couple bottles? I said, a couple bottles? She said, yeah. I said, fine. So I brought her 4 bottles. And then the next month she called. She said, hey, can I have some more bottles? And I said, okay, I guess I'll bring you 5. So next month I bought her 5. And today I bring her about 45 bottles a month. She sells bottles out of her home in Compton. And it's so interesting because I can be somewhere and somebody will be like, are you the girl that does the oil? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. I'm the oil queen. So I do have a 9 to 5. I know Dawn touched on having a 9 to 5. I have a 9 to 5 to support my dream. And I started from the bottom. I do it in my kitchen. My kids help me bottle. We put the labels on in the kitchen. Everything is homemade. All the products are organic. And it's from the heart, and it really helps your hair grow. You know what I mean? And so from the hair oil, I ventured out and said, what could I do for the men? And I have a beard oil now. So now I have depression and headache oil. And my beard balm will be ready probably at the end of the month. So it's just actually just taking a vision and deciding that I can do this, you know what I mean? People were like, what's your website? And I didn't have a website when I first started, but I wasn't scared. I'm not a scary person. I'm a risk taker. I mean, I'm not afraid to jump. I don't want to stand at the edge and I'm watching everyone jump off the edge. And I have on a parachute too. I don't know if my parachute's gonna open, but I'm not scared to jump. If it opens, it opens. If it doesn't and I fall, at least I tried it, so.
Thank you.
Right.
I purposely, like when I twist my hair up, I purposely leave some untwisted because her oil really works. Look, you see this? You see this new growth? I can't keep up with it. I'm like, I like my hair to grow, but I have to twist it all the time. So I purposely leave it out, you know, because this is my partner right here. You know what I mean? We do stuff together. She's my co-host. She's my podcast person. You know what I mean? If someone has something, we have to support each other.
Absolutely. Yes,
We have to support each other. A lot of times people are like, you know, the music artists and stuff in the industry, and they'll say, oh, Illuminati. It's like, cut it out. Number one, you can be great on your own. It's not because some secret society is making you great. And those people are getting light shine on them because we're paying attention to them and not paying attention to ourselves. A lot of us, sometimes, we can be the viewer. All we want to do is look at what someone else is doing. But we needed to be the doer. You know what I mean? We need to do something. You can view all day long, but then you might learn something from somebody. You know what I mean? Take it easy, take it small. I go to YouTube to figure out what to make for dinner. You know what I mean? I'll be in the grocery store and I'm like looking up, okay, well, what can I buy while I'm here so I can go do it? Because you're going to look and you're going to learn. Now, yes, granted, there are some times where I'm watching a workout video and I'm eating potato chips and sitting on the couch. That is entertaining, right? But I, too, can get up and do what I need to do and exercise. You just have to do something. It doesn't have to be major. It doesn't have to be major. Let me ask you a question. When's the last time you took a long walk? Long walk? Long walk? What about you? When's the last time you took a long walk?
A long time.
A long time. What about
Wednesday.
you? Wednesday. Oh, good. Nice. And how did
I
that
have
make
to
you
walk
feel?
all the time.
How did it make you
It's
feel?
a part of my life.
Yes.
It's my daily routine. And I
Yes.
feel amazing when I do it. The fact that I can do it. Because my mother used to walk a lot. And she had a fall. She got up and she walked the next day. And then the day after, she couldn't get up. And so now she walks with a cane. But I know the value of just being able to do that.
Yes. Walking is so important. Oh, let me finish my survey.
Tuesday.
Nice. How did it make you feel?
Wonderful. Went to lunch with a friend. We've been trying to get together over a year. It's just crazy how we let life things get in the way. But we had lunch and then we walked on the beach.
Oh,
Nice.
Beautiful. When was the last time you took a walk?
Yesterday.
Nice. It feels so good, right?
Yeah, it's a good thing. I walk 3 to 5 miles a day.
Nice. Woo, nice. I know you're an athlete. I know you're still young. But But just so they go on walks. Do you go on walks with your friends or anything?
Last week.
Nice. Good job. So the lazy people are on this side of the room?
There's room for improvement.
Yes, room. What about you? When's the last time you took a walk?
You asked me last time I took a swim, I can give you that.
Oh, tell me when's the last time you took a swim?
Oh, I swim 3 days a week.
That's
Oh,
nice.
nice.
And how does that make you feel? What's different? Because I don't
Very
know how to
relaxing,
swim.
actually.
Very
I mean,
relaxing.
I do it for 2 reasons, for the relaxation and then the exercise.
Nice.
Very relaxing.
Good. What about you?
I don't like to walk. I don't like cardio, but I dance.
Oh,
That's
that
cardio.
matters.
It is cardio, girl.
That's
Yes.
cardio.
Yes.
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Dancing is
all the
really
time.
important because when you're dancing, especially like when you really love to dance, I really love to dance. And when you really love to dance, it's something going on inside of you that you just want to express. I mean, I can't help it if I'm at the stoplight and I just want to move. It's just something about that music. It makes me want to move. It's something inside of me that I want to express. That's why you can watch ballet. I want to go to Shenyun. Have you guys been there?
yes,
Have you ever go there? It's just so
It's
miraculous.
amazing.
And the premise behind that
do, huh?
is
Yes.
that
Wanna see
power inside of us, that God power, everything that's inside of us, that is what makes life good. And that's what some of us keep locked up, because we don't know that we have it. And then some of us know that we have it, but if we admit it, then we have to do something about it, right? So it's so important. So I'm glad that you guys get out and walk. And the reason why I brought it up is like you said, some people don't do it. And some people take it for granted and don't realize that some people can't do it anymore. And when you're walking, you're looking at stuff. You're smelling the air. You're under the sun. You're in the best place you can be. People spend $24.99 a month and don't go to the gym, but so many gyms owe me money. I didn't go. I'm for refund. But you know, we pay to get on the treadmill and act like we're going on a hike. But outside is right there. The beach is right there. The mountains and all that kind of stuff. You can hike for real. You know what I mean? I don't know about the running part, but still. But you can do that. You get on a stationary bike, right? But you get on a real bike and go to the beach and ride. I love doing stuff like that because it opens me up and it takes me away from the negative distractions of life. Because not all distractions, some distractions are good, some distractions are negative. It takes you away and you get it and you can be inside yourself and you can like start to develop these ideas. But don't just develop them here and keep it locked in your safe, right? So I want to say that, all right? So good. I'm glad that you guys are doing that. And you understand why I brought You understand why I brought you in on that, right? Because it's important. But that's just an example. Walking is just an example. Some of you might like to draw. Does anyone in here have any drawing talents? Anyone in here? You know how to draw. You're my sister, and I know you. You like to draw?
She doesn't like to, but she is an artist.
You're an artist.
She can
That's
draw.
a gift inside of you.
And it's so natural. It's so natural for her, she doesn't even realize she has
Doesn't even
it.
realize it. But do you realize what people feel when they see your art? People say, oh, mind reading. Can you read mine? Can you read mine? Can you read mine? But guess what? We can read mine, in a sense. If I have something in my mind and I write it down and I never uttered a word, and then you took it and you read it inside your head and you never uttered a word, you read my mind. You read what was going on inside of me, right? So that's what we do. So when you have a skill or a talent, being in drawing, being in speaking, singing, dancing, these are all gifts and talents. When you share those gifts and talents, you make someone else feel good, right? Don't rob that person of an opportunity to feel good because you're too shy to crack your safe, to break your safe, to use your combination, to find those layers and say, this is where I am. This is where I am, who I am right now, right? All right. Okay. I'll include you guys in a few more minutes. Okay. Stand by. All right, so Stacy, I want you to share with them who you are. And even though you know some of these people in here, I still want you to share who you are. And I want you to share your story, and I just want you to have fun.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you, Dawn, for this opportunity.
Dawn hit me up a few weeks ago via text, and she was like, give me some dates that you're available to speak. And I was like, that's cute. And because my passion is motivational speaking, and Dawn and I used to work together, and in 2016, June 2016, she wrote me a long letter about my gifts and how the world is waiting on it. And Stacey keeps telling God, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. And it really did something to me, and I still have it. And when you asked me about this opportunity, I actually printed it out and had to read it again because it definitely ministered to me. And I thank you for that, because I was fearful, I was afraid. And when she told me that here's the date, here's the time, that nervous excitement had built up, and I was like, okay, this is good, this is good. Then the date started approaching, and fear kind of crept in. And I was like, okay, wait a minute, this is really happening. And it took me to my womb story. And a womb story is actually the story that was given to you while you're in your mother's womb. And because you're connected, and the frequency, whatever vibration she's on, you're feeling it and you're a part of it. And so my mom, picture this with me, she's 20 years old, she's married, and she has a 3-month-old. And she finds out she's pregnant again. So her and my dad decided to terminate the pregnancy. And she was very sick the whole 9 months with my sister, 9+ months. We gotta get it right, because it's a very long time. But needless to say, she was very sick, so they decided to terminate. So that night before that appointment for the abortion, she was watching the 700 Club, which is a religious, kind of like a talk show. And on that show, they were talking about abortions. So she canceled that appointment, and here I am today.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. And when I say womb story, what that is, I have spent my whole entire life, personal, business-wise, every relationship, trying to prove that I was worthy enough to keep.
Oh, wow.
And I've been doing that dance my whole life for my mom, thanking her for keeping me, but trying to prove to her that I was enough. And I've taken that narrative my whole life and assigned it to every aspect of my life. And so with that being said, when that fear crept up, it's time to change that narrative. And it's time the world is waiting for me, and there's something that I have to do because God saved me. That was one. You know how they say 3 strikes and you're out?
Oh, wow.
So that was one, the abortion appointment that was canceled. Then my mom went through postpartum depression. And my dad came home right on time because she was about to toss me down a flight of wooden stairs because of the postpartum. But my dad saved me, so that's 2. And, you know, 3 strikes, you're out. I say 3 blessings, you're in, because I'm also a cancer survivor. So I'm just like, God, okay, you're keeping me here for a reason. Thank you. You're keeping me here for a reason, and it's time to release that gift, break that safe, and get out of my comfort zone, get out of my own way. So I just, honestly, I have to thank you for today. Because honestly, this is just the beginning, and so much more to come. But I so appreciate you.
Wow.
Thank you.
What's funny too is when I sent you the text, and then as soon as I sent her the text, I know Stacey.
Oh yeah? She said, okay, yeah, she said, and don't say you're not ready. Like, wait a minute. Don't act like you know me. But yeah, she called me out really quick.
I was like,
She said, shut it. Shut it down before we get it started.
Put it down.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. These women have great stories to tell. And imagine if you weren't here today, and imagine if you didn't hear these stories, right? And these stories are not just like, oh, look at me story. It's language. And language is so very, very important. It is so, the way you speak, the things that you say, the way that you talk to yourself is so important, right? So you don't want to talk yourself out of stuff, but you also don't want to talk yourself sick, right? You can't get in your own way. Language is like a spiritual diet, like a spiritual food. You watch, some of us watch TV. There's a lot of Easter candy back there, you can eat it now. But typically, I know we all watch what we eat. I know we watch what we eat. But you know, you watch what you put in your body, right? If it's poison, if it has a little skull and crossbones and there's a little juice right here, you're not gonna be like, I wonder how it tastes. You don't do that. You don't put stuff in your body that's gonna harm you. You don't do that. So you can't put words into your mental system that's going to harm you, right? Even